What is up, guys? So how do you draw in Dreams PS4? This is for beginners. This is not how I typically make my drawings, but we all have to start somewhere. Choose your brush color, then downsize it to a resolution that'll look good from a distance. Then put it on studio lighting. Set it to surface snap to surface snap. What we're going to do now is trace over something that we found in the Dreamverse. And what I want you guys to remember is whenever you're tracing, you do not have to have your lines connecting throughout the whole thing, because it's actually hard to actually make perfect circles in Dreams. In fact, it might not even be possible. There's always seems to be this diagonal curve. So don't worry about that too much. Holding R2 will make it to where there's a fade in effect. Holding X will make it to where it's just instantly that color. So let's begin. Let's see if this works. That's one line. That's another one. Sometimes it helps to actually start from the top. Sometimes it helps to start from the bottom. I want it to be a little bit more round than that. That'll do. That, wait, yeah, we'll go with that. Getting the stitches in. We're going to go ahead and start working on the lower body. Notice the crease in the arm right here. On stuff like that where you barely see a shadow, you still want to kind of get a line there. At least I would want to. There we go. Now we're going to do the neck. Well, I guess we're not going to. Now we're going to do neck. That will work. We are now working on the shoulders. The hands can be very difficult to draw for just about anything, but just know that it's possible. That'll work. And that'll do. You don't want to move your imp too much using this method, since it may actually change the position of a flick. So if you move it like that, then a flick may appear behind everything that you drew. So just remember that. And start out with something simple like I did. Remember, sometimes it helps to start from the top. And that will work. That will work. I want to define some things before we actually try to show you guys this. And notice how I'm undoing a lot. I'm just undoing if it doesn't look straight. That's usually what you have to do. And right here, we could just use a shape. But if you really wanted to, you could, you know, we're just going to use a shape just to speed up the tutorial. Is there a circle shape? And then we can add some flair to it. And I'm not going to go into too much detail with the zipper. I know I had to make it just do this. No, that won't look right. We gotta. It helps sometimes to actually use the ruler tool, and that'll keep the base shape throughout the whole thing. And again, this isn't typically how I make my drawings, but I know people really want to know how to do this. And they don't know where to start because it's not a pencil. So it's a good place to start. So what does it look like without the thing? Moment of truth. There you go. Now there are still some things that you can do with this, and you can also retouch back up on certain areas. So whenever you have a base finish like that, it's time to start deleting some of the areas and then going back into it. So you'll want to press, I want an X on that one flick area. Then you'll want to press triangle on the parts that you want to get rid of. You can also move around the position of each flick. And that sometimes helps me too. We're definitely getting rid of that one. And remember, the more zoomed out you are, the better it's going to look. There are times whenever I get really, you know, I don't want my lines to look curved like that. Now it's not one of those times. So let's see what it looks like now. There we go. So you'll notice that there's certain areas on the drawing that really throw the whole thing off, right? Those areas you want to touch up, and you don't have to look at, and you know, the further you get away, the better it looks also, so remember that also. But typically, what you want to do is, now that the base shape is there, you'll want to fill in the gaps without the actual thing being there. And that part's, this is the easier part to do. You can also go over some of the lines. That one might work. Don't like that one now. Don't like that one now. That one. This one. You can also downsize these. Remember, they don't have to connect. like that. It's a lot better. Oh man. Now we're starting to get some better resolution with it whenever we scoot back. You can also clone these. Press L something. I guess you can't do that, but oh well. I'm gonna clone. So we have our Sackboy. This is something that I would consider presentable. From here you can airbrush it. So from here, in order to paint this, what you want to do is actually not paint with the flicks, but you'll want to, what mode do I usually use? I think I'm in scope mode. So we're actually going to be painting the sculpture with the spray paint tool. And you want to change this to probably the spear. And you'll also want to mess with the opacity. I usually turn it down while I'm doing this. That way I can airbrush through it. And all of it doesn't need to be in color, just some of it, if you're going to use this style. And don't forget to turn on surface snap while you're doing this. And we've got something. After that, you want to actually pull out a camera. You can also change the color of this if you want it to be white. Make sure you turn off this. Then you can pull out a camera and a light source, and you can also mess with the grading effects and sun and sky. Let's mess with the sun and sky first, because I usually want this white. We'll pull out the camera now, go to edit camera. Looks pretty good from right here. You can mess around with that as you want to. It might look better to you from right here. You might have to upsize the canvas though. And then pretty much you could actually release it and save it if you wanted to, or you can add more things in here using this technique. Looks pretty cool, huh? Guess this is a way you can cell shade also. Let's see here. With the lights and gradient effects, you can actually do some pretty cool stuff. So I'll show you that too. So you can actually make this perfectly, the background perfectly white by doing that. Don't want to mess with the contrast. I kind of want to make the lines more So what does this look like? That's scary. We're gonna put the light in there now. There we go. So yeah, that's what I want to show you guys. So you can do all sorts of stuff, and this is just for starting, guys. This is not typically how I actually make my paintings. I usually just do it without, you know, tracing over it. But the trace over method is a good way to get used to actually drawing in Dreams PS4. Combined with the way that I do it, not connecting your lines completely, you can make stuff pretty quickly in Dreams whenever it comes to drawing. It's a technique that I learned in the beginning, and I wanted to learn a technique that allowed me to actually make drawings really quickly. And this is what I came up with. So we're gonna undo it, bring it back to something, you know, a little bit more presentable than what I was showing. I think that was this. And then if we were to play, let's go ahead and undo a little bit more. Let me rewind it. Let me delete the gradient effect. Well, I guess it's just not, you know. Okay. Pull out a light. Change the color of the light. I forgot to. You could even do that. Dim it a little. Okay, we're getting there. So from this point, you really just want to keep on messing with it, messing with maybe the positions of the camera also. That could help you out also. Trying to get it to where it looks more like the way that I see it right here, where it's all presentable and whatnot. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know if it helped out. There's some other things you can do. Mess around with these gadgets while you're tracing over it. But pretty much, other than that, it's a good way to learn how to start your start painting in Dreams PS4. You can also mess around with painting over it with this, with another flick thing. So I hope this helps out. I know it was a long tutorial, and I hope you guys enjoy Dreams PS4. Peace out. And take snapshots. You can also, you know, if it doesn't appear the way that, you know, you want it to appear, you can always take a snapshot. It seems to look a lot better from this view, which is weird. I like that view. I think this is the best view right here. Alright guys, peace out.